So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to CrossWrap webinar. Thank you for joining us. This is our first webinar ever, so we highly appreciate your attendance, and we do highly appreciate your feedback after the seminar as well. Since CrossWrap World Tour 2020 is now postponed, we decided to organize this webinar for you. I'm your host, Martta Kivelä. I'm also the sales manager for Italy. And here with me in the webinar, not physically here, is my sales team as well. So please show yourselves. Hello. So here, please present yourself and tell which market areas you take care of.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Heikki, and I take care of our sales team, our sales to Asia, and certain customers in Europe.
Thank you,
welcome,
Heikki.
everyone.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Eetu. Hello Martta, and hello everyone who's listening. I'm our sales manager for Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Poland, Sweden, Baltic countries, and Greece.
Thank you.
Good afternoon all. My name is Ville-Pekka and I take care of our customers in Benelux countries, France, Spain, Portugal, Denmark, and Norway.
Thank you. And here physically with me is our newest addition to our sales team, Mr. Bernardino Vasquez.
Hello, I am Bernardino Vasquez and I take care of Latin American market.
Thank you, Berna. And then the guy behind our original patent as well as our founder, Mr. Kalle Kivelä.
Hello everybody, I'm Kalle Kivelä, taking care of the UK, Ireland, North America. And good morning, North America. It's a little bit early for you, but hopefully you will have a good day today. Start with this. Thank you.
So, thank you to my sales team. See you later. You can now go away for a bit. All right. Without further ado, let's get started to learn about CrossWrap dewiring, efficiency and safety that we can bring. The headline of today is operational efficiency and working safety with CrossWrap dewiring. Just a first intro of CrossWrap as a company. CrossWrap is a family company manufacturing machinery to the waste and recycling and other industries since 1994. We manufacture all of our products in Finland and we hold our own patents to these products. And today we have our machinery in 60 countries. Little bit about the structure of this webinar. We will first talk about innovation, then we will talk about efficiency, and then we will talk about safety. After these three themes, I will answer to your questions that you did submit during your registration to the seminar. And after that, I hope to get a nice conversation going, mainly about dewiring, but of course, I am happy to have a conversation about the industry in general. So we got one question from the audience when registering, what is CrossWrap dewiring? I hope you will get the answer during this presentation. Innovation. Let's go a short history behind the dewiring. Since 2000, we have been delivering the cross-wrap bale openers to the waste to energy and cement industry. In these industries, our references are Intercement, Cimentas, and LafargeHolcim, etc. And this machine does open the bales with wires and plastic. Then 2015, we got a request from a paper mill to do a dewiring based on our bale opener for the national pulp bales here in Finland. After that, we did the second machine for OCC bales, also for the paper industry. After 2015, we took some projects in from the plastic industry. By the end of 2017, we had a full product cross-wrap dewiring on the market, opening and dewiring the bales for plastics recycling, paper recycling, and other industries such as biomass and alternative fuels. Today, we have this machinery in 3 continents. We can proudly call ourselves the leading dewiring on the market, since we are the only dewiring, cutting, removing, and coiling the wires of the bale in 60 seconds, and we are highly recognized in many process industries. Also, this year we are proud to be shortlisted as the finalist of Recycling Machinery Innovation of the year 2020. Unfortunately, the final was postponed, but we are looking forward to that as well. Without further ado, let's have a look at the dewiring machine in action. This is an installation in England. Rainham Veolia is the client. So we feed the bales to the feeding conveyor. We run the bale in to the dewiring unit. Then we have the grippers coming from both sides, taking hold of the wires. Then we start cutting with the slow rotating cutting blade in the front, starting from below the conveyor belt, ending to above the bale. Then the grippers do move apart. We run the conveyor, material goes further to the next process. Then we let go from the other side, and wires come to the pulling the wires to other side, and to the coiling unit it goes. Circular economy, social responsibility, and sustainability are here to stay. Brands and companies are making long-term commitments to plastic recycling. The lines and processes and facilities of recycling are highly automated. However, the feeding of these automated processes often are well behind the development, based on manual solutions or solutions adapted from other part of the process. So now is the time for revolution, the feeding of these lines and processes to the level of our industry. Let's see how it's done cross-wrap style. So many times our feeding of the line may look like this, losing a lot of time in cleaning, manual cutting, manual handling of the wires, and so on. How about if it could, instead of that, it could look like this? efficient material handling, the consistent feed of 24 hours for our running process. The most expensive time that we can have in the facility is downtime. As current situation shows us, automation is the only way to go when possible, especially when talking about waste-based material streams. The working labor cost is costing every hour more, but the automated machinery costs less and less every hour. Now the automation is possible for dewiring process as well with cross-wrap dewiring. Other aspect of the efficiency is the handling of the wires. Here are some pictures of manually handled wires, and here on right side we have the pictures of cross-wrap coiled wires, where we can get 80% saving in storage, transportation cost of the wires. But better than me telling you, let's hear from our customer why he made the investment for cross-wrap dewiring.
The reason for us to buy the machine is to make a capacity and save time in people. My name is Casper van der Dunger, working for Poly Recycling in Switzerland, PT recycling facility, doing the managing director for that, and doing this for the last 25 years. We are actually at a new build plant since 1 year, and we are happy to integrate a recycling facility into a preform production. So we make on one location old bottles into new bottles. It's a very unique situation because you go from waste into food grade materials. As we are based in Switzerland, everybody knows it's an expensive country, so we are focused on automating as much as we can into our operations. And the dewiring system of cross-wrap was, let's say, a point of choice where we want to focus on what it could add for our location. The automatization of the bales dewiring gives the employee more time to do other important jobs. And the machine is helping us a lot in saving a lot of time for this. And this helps us with the efficiency of operating a line 24/7 and focusing on making Swiss quality. The nice fit with cross-wrap we found is that they are making machines and having experience in countries where there is a lot of snow. We have typically the machine outside. It has to be sure that it can operate 24/7 at -degrees. What I did like about the contact with cross-wrap was that they were looking for value-added sales to the customers. They wanted to understand what we require. We were, let's say, helped very carefully in achieving our goals.
So, thank you to Switzerland for these comments. Last but not least, at this presentation section, safety. Sustainability is a big part of plastic recycling industry. And one part of that is social responsibility. And of course, the first responsibility is the employees you have on the site and the safety of the employees. Here are the common tools used for manual bale dewiring, but those should be left to the previous decade. Let's put safety first. No more manual wire cutting and manual handling of the wires that do cause several injuries throughout the year in the industry, giving a bad reputation not only to the company but also for the industry. So here on the right side we do have a calculation I made that if we have the infeed of 50 bales per hour, and in average we have 10 wires in a bale, we take about 1 million risks per year with manual wire cutting. Here are the few most common injuries caused by manual wire cutting that we have heard from the industry. The accidents happen every year, from a minor wounds to deathly accidents. Then other point of view, when having non-automated or semi-automated feeding of our process lines, there are normally mobile machinery moving, mixing and handling the material, causing safety risks, especially if the plant is in a hurry or behind production or behind schedule. And of course, second thing is the environmental aspect of it all, that we are using fossil fuels. So let's increase the environmental responsibility and the social responsibility and decrease the accidents as well as the fossil fuel engines. All right, so that was just a bit wake you up, and the rest of the presentation I will be answering to the questions you already provided me in your register forms. So first up, that were some questions coming during this presentation already. What is the capacity? How efficiently we remove the wires, and is there fire risk caused by the front blade? The capacity of the machine is highly depending on your process and your capacity, and we will match it. Now we can do the capacity up till 60 bales per hour. About the wire removing percent, that in practice varies from 90 to 98%, and it highly depends on the quality of the bales. For us, the most important thing is to have the wires horizontally at the side of the bale, that we can catch and grab the wires. Second thing about the fire risk of the cutting blade. No, there is no fire risk since it's a slow rotating cutting blade. Also, that what proves our safety of the machinery is that this is approved in the paper and alternative fuels industry, where the assessment of fire risk is high. And new option to the I like this question of, if not 100%, what are the measures taken to retain the escape ones? So for this we have a new option. A metal detector is introduced to the CW Dewiring installation itself. Not only do we sense the wires if there's going to the process, but we also can sense the metal that can be in your material stream inside of the bale. Then about different sizes and different kind of bales, of course you get the bales where you get the best quality and best price. So how we can know? We can open them all. As some of you know, our first product to the market 25 years ago was the square bale wrapping. These square bale wrappers we have with all the leading baler manufacturers. So we know the machines that does the bales that arrive to your plant. As long as the wires are horizontally with these two different dewiring models, we can open your bales. And on top of that, as we know, there are different sizes of bales, but there are also different hardness and pressures in the bales. For this, we have developed an automatic bale hardness sensing quality to the machine so that we can feed different types of bale in which order you want and which order your recipe for your product might be. If we put quality 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, we can do that and have a flexible, efficient process. Then there was a question, can it change from one product to other using same unit, plastic and steel? Yeah, we can. This is programmable, and depending on the process, we can do that indeed. All right, then there was a question already about the maintenance and service and operation costs. In the left side, we can see a service per shift. As we can see, the main thing is cleaning the dewiring unit and checking the blade and checking the sharpness of the repairs. In the right side, we can see an average of operation cost that can give you an idea. Of course, let's bear in mind that this is the operation cost for 40 bales per hour. So the electricity consumption is 25 kilowatts per hour, and maintenance cost 1.56 euros, but 1.56 euros per hour when we are opening 40 bales per hour, right? So, and below I have also put in the maintenance cost per bale. If your capacity is lower, we can calculate it from there, and we are happy to provide more exact calculates for you according to your process. Crossrap has the experience of supporting international clients for 25 years. We support the clients directly, as well as with local partners. We have a service team and a service phone. All units come with the remote connection, so program and PLC related service we can do remotely from our home office as well. And service contracts are available. A little bit more about service and maintenance, because it seems to be the hot topic according to your questions. So let's take the machine part by part. The main frame, as said, the main maintenance is cleaning and greasing. The main frame is laser cut robust structure, minimizing littering and cleaning. The installation is easy and fast. It will take 5 to 7 working days. And we do the factory testing to all of our machinery here in Finland in our facilities. Then we have the front cutter. Again, main maintenance is cleaning and checking the sharpness of the blade. The design and material of the blade is optimized for minimizing the service cost. One blade can be sharpened 5 to 6 times. How normally our clients do that is that they have 2 blades, one in use and one sharpened already. The changing of the blade takes 5 to 10 minutes. It's a really simple procedure for any of your operators. But of course, the sequence of changing the bale depends highly of your production and material. Then the grippers. Grippers are patented. We have the patent for the grippers. The main maintenance is cleaning and greasing again and checking the sharpness. Nice thing for the maintenance is that the spikes are individually interchangeable and replaceable. So we can take one spike from on the top or below where we don't get that many wires normally, and we can change it to the middle where we always have a wire and where the spikes can be worn more. About the gripper and front cutter booms, again, greasing and cleaning. We use heavy-duty steel rolls for the movement. So we have the same robust structure as forklift trucks. And at least for me, I don't know a more stronger structure than that. Then for the coiling unit, last but not least again, we do hold the patent for that, and maintenance is cleaning and greasing. It is a protected structure, and in the design, one of the best qualities is that we do not generate any heat when coiling the wires. We got a separate question about how often we change the cutting blades. So as said once earlier, it does truly depend on your material. This question came from the cement industry. I know that we are talking about SRF or RDF, alternative fuel, where the bales are not with hard material. So there we can say that the blade can last around 5,000 working hours with a capacity ranging from 20 to 30 bales per hour. But of course, then if we look at the market, for example, in US, where we have high dense bales made with twin ram balers, where the bales are like rocks. So of course, there the maintenance sequence for sharpening the blade is shorter. Then came a question. Our plant is limited with space. What is the footprint of dewiring? Dewiring unit itself, the unit is less than 4 meters long and less than 5 meters wide. Then we can add the feeding conveyor and output conveyor depending on your project and about your layout. The length of feeding conveyor depends, of course, how long buffer we want to have for our process. Also, additionally, for example, in this layout, we have a conveyor under where the coils do drop. That is a good solution as well for a efficient wire coiling handling after the wire coiling. How easy can it be to integrate existing debaling and feeding system of a kiln calciner? As said, our layout is highly flexible. We can have the dewiring directly towards the next process or in an angle of 90 degrees. For the feeding conveyor, length is flexible, or in some cases, like we saw the video from Switzerland, that we don't have a feeding conveyor at all, but we put the bales directly to the dewiring unit. Please let us know your layout and we will make the best suggestion. Also, the height of the machine is individual according to your needs. All right, then about PLC. We use the Siemens S7 1500 PLC. Here we can see the home screen. We have the Siemens 1200 Comfort touch panel. Standard is 12 inches. That is easy to use, and it's informative view. Like in the left corner, we can see everything about our operations, how many bales we have opened, how many bales has been opened per shift, and how many bales have been opened per hour, and so on. If we do put the weight unit as well, which we will see in a bit, we can have that information there as well. All of our machinery come with TOSIBox modem. With that, we are able to provide teleservice, the remote connection, access for updates, upgrades, and possibility to see the operation remotely from your phone or office or home laptop. Also available option is the PNP coupler to connect the dewiring to the factory automation system in a flexible manner. And of course, also available different gateways as Profibus or Modbus, etc. How clean are the wires when they come out? What happens after that? Here is just the 80% that I mentioned. So reference of our customer. They used to have 5 containers per 2 shifts. Now 5 containers has changed to 1 container. To the coiling process itself, after that we can have that conveyor automatically taking the wires to a container, or you can have the container already under the place where the coils drop. And after that, we can, instead of conveyor, we can have also a shredder. We got a question about this. Would the dewiring system benefit from using a shredder to volume reduce dewire coils? Yes, especially when talking about mixed plastics. If we have different kind of plastics in the bale, sometimes the film plastics can be wrapped around the wires, so then we can put the whole coil can drop to the shredder directly, and it can be separated. And yes, of course, it's possible, and especially in high volume projects. Or other option is that we have a small baler, so the wire coil drops directly to a small baler. But these are options that we can discuss individually with all of you. How is the Infield optimized? So as said before, here is a project of a PET facility with integrated load cells for weighing, and the program is X amount of tons per hour that the next process does require. Other option is that we have the level measuring sensor in the next process, like in this mixed plastic installation, we have it in the next bale breaker, measuring the level at all times. Here we can see in the left corner just a screenshot of our home screen that you can always see the material level of the next process, and by that have the automation. Comment from this mixed plastic recycling plant from the plant manager that they did manage to get a 30% increase weekly in the production when running cross-wrap dewiring. We are almost done. 2 things to go. Putting machinery inside, outside. Can we have a mobile unit? yes, mobile units available. Please let us know what kind of mobility we need from the machinery, if it's moving inside the plant or something else. The machine has IP55, meaning that it can be placed outside, but we need the roof on top of it. The storage conveyor can be outside if wanted, so without problems. Disadvantages, advantages in front of a shredder. Okay, this is the second last one. Bear with me, guys. I've thought this through. So here we have any type of shredder. I'm not taking sides. Shredders are amazing machinery. Here is our dewiring. So let's use an example of pet bale feeding to the shredder. Then what we get out is we get out the little pieces of metal wires. Firstly, metal wires causing a maintenance in the shredder, but also these little pieces of metal wire is hard to detect from the material stream, causing quality issues and also maintenance issues, not only in the shredder, but also further along in the process, so causing money. Then we get the maintenance cost and an angry maintenance manager, and also the inconsistent material feed. So when the bale is put to the shredder, it snaps the first wire, we get tiny bit of material, snapping second, third, tiny bit more, and then we get a high peak of material flow when snapping all the wires, creating a highly unsteady material flow. Well, and the whole investment, of course, of a shredder is significant because shredders are significant machines. All right, then other option, putting the same bale to a dewiring. What we get out? We get out the wire coils, which has good recycling value and can be shredded after dewiring with a relatively smaller and lower investment shredder, if wanted so. We get a happy service manager without too much rush and costs, and we get nice flow of good quality products to the line, and the nice steady flow of material. And the investment is relatively smaller than maybe the shredder. But the third option is that we put first the bale dewiring of cross wrap, and then we feed that to a shredder, especially for those who are already recognizing these problems that we were talking before when putting the entire bale to the shredder. So the solution is cross wrap dewiring in front of that. Not only is it automized, the whole feeding process, but it's also saving you from a lot of costs, alternative costs. So then we can again get the wires with good recycling value, happy maintenance manager with low costs, and nice steady material flow. With a little bit bigger investment, of course, but when considering the alternative costs without dewiring, it's worthwhile to do. Then last question, what is the big difference of machinery comparison to the paper dewiring and ours? Good question. And of course, like at least for my knowledge, the paper recycling is the only industry that do have some alternative solutions for dewiring. Basically, we use the same unit. The difference between is that And the beauty of our machine is that we cut the wires from the front, which makes the wires stay always behind the material flow. So we are not trying to cut below of the bale, the wires, which does cause a significant loss of cut wires. Also, the holding on to the wires while we cut. And after that, when we are holding on, the material goes forward and our wires stay behind the material flow, giving the success of separating the wires. And the beauty of our coiling unit is that we are coiling the wires of one bale, not several bales. So it's quick, the maintenance is low, and we do not get any problems with overheating wire coil systems like I've heard from the bale industry. Also, do take a note of the belt conveyors that we use. These are the most these conveyors do take the most best care of our bales and have the low maintenance cost when we are not using other type of balers that do get a higher maintenance cost. That was that, guys. Wow, that was 43 minutes. So once more, here is our sales team. Contact information. The areas who was missing from our introduction was Luba Stevanova. She is in the audience and taking care of Russia and Russian-speaking countries. Also, the great person behind all of us is Jussi-Pekka Räsänen, our sales support, doing a great job supporting all of us. Our email addresses are firstname.lastname@crosswrap.com. Here are just a recap about our references, and one question more I got before, that what would be the delivery lead time for a dewiring unit? Good question. I will say that the time is to buy now. Current situation is uncertain, but what is certain is that the materials are stocking up, and when we do get out of this, there is material available, and then is the time to work. So lead time is around 6 months, depending on the installation and depending when you put your order in. So I'm Martta Kivelä. Thank you for listening, and stay safe with Crosswrap Dewiring. And now would be the time to question, comments, and conversation. And we can start by take some of the questions from here. First of all, when the bale does come in, we have the bale, the sensors measuring the bale and taking it in. There shouldn't be a situation where, how often, I would say never, if the bale is to the dimensions. One important thing for that is what I forgot to mention is that when putting the bales on the conveyor, it's important we put the bales with a little bit of a gap. So if we put the bales to the conveyor without any gap between the bales, there will be a possibility that the sensor is looking that we have just one long bale, and then there can be a problem. But when putting the bales in the right way, there is no problem. Was there somebody from sales team that wanted to comment on this? I heard somebody putting their mic on.
Yeah, I was about to say, you said exactly correctly that if you place the bale correctly on the feeding conveyor so that the wires are horizontal, then the dewiring works. The common reasons if something gets stuck, and that shows the intelligence of the machine, is that if you don't place the bale correctly, or if the discharge conveyor is full. Those are maybe the most common reasons that I know of. Or as you say, if there is some pieces holding the bales together so that they come as one piece, making a very long looking bale.
Exactly. Thank you, Heikki, for that. Yes, it is. We can dewire textile bales, and as said, we do have the solution working in various of industries. Textile bales are easy to dewire. There's no problem whatsoever to that, because textile as a material is favorable and it is a good shape bale normally. Yes, of course, because then the transportation, you get a pure material, as said in the previous slide, that especially if talking about mixed plastics, where there is a possibility that there is plastic around the wires that we do remove, which are in the coil, then small amount, but still. So if you do shred it, then you can 100% separate the plastics out of the coil. So yes, I would say that there is a value added in that process. Can we receive the presentation and videos after? Yes, you can. All the videos you can find also from our website and our YouTube, and at least from our YouTube channel. So if you just type YouTube Crosswrap, put all videos, you can see all of these videos from there as well, and more. And let us know if you want of some certain material more, like more about mixed plastic, or I have PET, that I want more PET material, PET videos, and so on. Well, it probably depends of highly of your where are you from, and where, if you are plant at the moment, where you are putting your wires now, and what's the value of when you do put them now, and are those clean wires or not, and of course the investment return comes from the one slide that I had, the 80% of saving, because if we have the wires now outspreaded, just long wires, so the reduction with coiled wires is 80% according to our customer, that he used to use per 2 shift 5 containers, and now it's 1 container. So of course already there we do have the reduction of transport. It doesn't have to be same dimension. I can go a bit back to the presentation just to show you a possible feeding stream. As said, there are the dimensions. If your bales are out of those 2 dimensions, there is width, height, and length when wires are horizontally. If your bales are something else than what we have here, please let me know, and I will comment on that later, because that means that there are some bales that are probably manually done or with the vertical baler, but these dimensions do stand for most of your processes. What UK references do you have on what materials? In UK Islands, in total of machinery, we have over 100 units running. Of the dewiring itself for the plastic industry, we have Veolia, Rainham in London. But we are highly looking to install at least few machines more this year, I believe, because the payback of the machine, if we take, for example, my sales area of Italy, which is not the cheapest, but not the most expensive, there we have calculated with many customers that the payback is 1.5 years. It depends. If our machine is high enough, we can put just a container under that's the most common, maybe most simple solution. We have just a container under the machine, so they drop directly to the container, and when it's full, you change a new container. If there is requested other kind of solutions, one solution is more automatic, that we do have that kind of a conveyor under the spot where the wire does drop, and the conveyor takes it to the container again, or a small shredder, or a small baler, for example. It depends. But those are the options we are seeing at the moment and doing. How much distance? Depends on your layout, really. For example, we have made some projects so that we do have a debaler, and the dewiring unit itself is put directly on. If the debaler starts here, we have the sliding plate just there, and the material goes to the debaler directly. Or there can be a conveyor in between. Depends a lot which kind of debaler you might have and what kind of capacity is the debaler and space available. Good question. Okay, that machine supplier that does promise you 100%, send me his contact. I will go and work for him if that's true, but we do not believe that it 100% is true. Of course, to get the most highest range of removing the wires is the new option that we have just introduced, is the metal detecting. And that is a project we are delivering as well. So it's a ready product. The bales are put to the bale feed conveyor normally with a forklift. The feeding conveyor itself, the length varies of depending what kind of buffer we want for the process. So let's say 5 meters give us, depending on our bale size again, gives us around 3 bales. And if we put 12 meters, we can get the whole our capacity of a average washing line to a feeding conveyor. Here we can see the 3D model. And for example, in the Switzerland video, as I mentioned earlier, there is no feeding conveyor. So if it's low capacity, but we want to have the efficient feeding, we can just put it directly to the dewiring without problem. So here we have the 3D. In the left corner, there is the feeding conveyor. In this case, the bales are fed from the left side of the line, but also they can be fed from we can make the design so that we can feed the bales from the right side or from the end of the conveyor. So which suits your operation the best, we will do that. Kalle just confirmed, because for me the term hard plastic cord wasn't familiar. Yeah, no problem. Please send us the intro and the details of the project, and we are happy to work together with that. Can we send you sample bales? Yes, of course. Why not? We are happy. We do the machine testing in our facilities always. So I believe that's possible. For physical visit, we do have to, as you said, wait for a bit. But to get started, because as said, the situation is now what it is, but the fact is that the waste streams, especially in the alternative fuel sector, the waste streams are still generating waste. So we are happy to start the process. If you can provide us pictures, layouts, the capacity of the existing process, and to do a video conference, you and our sales with our designers, of course, and we can give you a good good start to the project, because we have to be ready when the rush starts and all the material flows that are now stuck in some countries start to move again. So our sales managers at normal times, we do visit our target markets every month, almost, depending on the project load, and we are happy to visit your sites when this situation does get easier. But before that, we are happy to arrange Microsoft Teams conferences, just you and us, and or Skype or Zoom, or which platform you desire. So I'm Martta Kivelä. Thank you for listening, and stay safe with CrossWrap Dewiring.